but you can also see what their BDL is as well, which is nice. And so you just want to make sure that you're not giving them too much at a time, and you can always give them more after it wears off and their BDL goes down. Which the main key here is maintaining a good uh, a good amount of drugs with what their BDL is, because we don't. The key factor here is not overdosing them, because once it's above 70%, they're going to start to feel drunk. Then once it's at 100%, they're going to start taking damage because they're going to be overdosed. And so I once got into a med bed and I gave myself 200% BDL just to see what would happen. And luckily, the
Oof.
med bed, I had a counter that said like I had like 5 seconds until I was in capped, but the med bed basically took it away as I did it too, because it's a med bed. The med bed will take away the BDL and anything regarding medical, and then especially a tier one med bed like at the hospitals.
Hmm.
So. Uh, I don't know why this is here. With the pyro multi-tool, there's not a whole lot that I can cover here that I haven't covered in the basics. Since I'm gonna skip a couple things just because I already covered it in the basics, which it's mostly for review here in my notes. But just keep in mind the lifeguard medical attachment. That works as hemazole. And so if for some reason you don't have a med gun, but you have the medical attachment for the multi-tool, you have some way to heal yourself up, but you don't have those drugs that like a regular med gun would have. Does that make sense?
Wait, hold on. Repeat that last part again.
So with the multi-tool, you have your lifeguard medical attachment.
Hmm.
That works just like the basic med gun.
Hmm.
The only thing is it's good if you don't have any other meds on you. It works just like the med gun, except you don't have the advanced features. So you don't have the other drugs. You only have the hemazole.
Okay.
So
So
just
it's
keep that
more
in
of a
mind.
use in a pinch than a use as a standard.
Yeah. Generally from who I've talked to, it's mostly the industrial guys that keep it. I would recommend just having a med gun on you, but
Hmm.
to each their own. If you want a different loadout, or if you're more comfortable doing that, most of the time, unless you're out doing like FPS or something, you don't need those extra drugs. So it really just depends on personal preference at that point. But
Hmm.
I would personally leave the lifeguard attachment elsewhere and just have med pens and a med gun on me, because you can still carry the multi-tool along with it unless you're just going out in an undersuit. So it really just depends on what you're comfortable with and what your loadout can handle. Um, has everybody here? I know Gato and Snowden, you've done medical rescues. Hopper, have you done a medical rescue at all?
Not here with Northfield now.
Okay. So the med as med beacons go out, when we start, when you pick up that initial beacon, make sure in global that you let them know you're coming.
Hmm.
Just hey, such and such, Northfield Medical is coming your way, or something like that. You don't have to say Northfield. You can say, hey, I'm headed your way. Um, Figure out, kind of gather information as you're going. Hopefully, they don't divulge where they're at, because you don't want to say their location in global,
Yeah, that
obviously.
that makes
So,
sense.
but most of the time, if they're down, it's mostly just gonna you're gonna get in there, you're gonna revive them, and they're gonna run off, and you're not gonna. You'll hit them with a med pen. They'll get up to like 32% health and then run off and go do their own thing. And at that point, that's their issue. If they stay still and let you heal them up to 100% or 68 or whatever it allows
Hmm.
you to, then go ahead and do that. But if they run off, don't go chasing them.
No, no,
Um,
that makes sense.
so the main thing is when you get to a location, if you have and you need to figure out, do I have enemies around? Um, should I revive them here on the spot, or should I tractor them back to a different spot? Am I at risk of getting shot by something? Really kind of ask yourself those questions. And then if you know it's in a, you probably, it usually says in the beacon where it might be, but you can also tell like by looking at the map if it updates that you're like, okay, they're in a bunker on Hurston. So I know there's probably going to be one or two enemies alive, and there's probably going to be no guards when I get there. So you don't have to worry. So you probably don't have to worry about getting shot by guards because you will be trespassing.
Hmm.
Mostly you'll have to worry about like a couple nine tails unless they started the bunker and they didn't kill anything. Then there definitely will be no guards, and there will be like eight nine tails alive. And at that point, if they're at the entrance, tractor them back to around the corner, how the bunker usually is. You know how it's
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
elevator, straight shot, and then it's a turn.
Hmm.
Um, get them back to where you can't be shot, and then revive them there, and then they can go do whatever they want. Other times, you can go in and kill nine tails as you're working through. It just depends on how you're feeling and how the situation looks. So, um, and then you can use either